and good morning, after all. I'm delighted to present a comprehensive overview of Spain's pioneering efforts in the realm of data space with a special focus on our healthcare sector. My presentation has two blocks. One block I'm going to talk about the data space as a place of value creation. In this first block, we will explore the concept of data space and their significance in Spain's strategy to boost the deployment of data space. We will delve into the role of Digidato, our Directorate General for Data, la Dirección General del Dato, and how it's spearheading our efforts to create a robust, innovative data economy. And in the second block, I am going to center in the Spanish National Health Data Space. This innovative project represents a significant leap forward in how we manage and utilize health data in Spain. I believe that by the end of this presentation, you will have a comprehensive understanding of how Spain is harnessing the power of data space that I think that we were talking, that you have talked previously, to drive innovation, enhance public service, and create new opportunities across our economy and society. Let's go with the first block. Digidato, our Directorate General for Data, is the driving force behind a transformative vision for our country's data economy. Its mission, our mission, is critical to streamline the management, sharing, and use of data across all productive sectors of the Spanish economy and society. As you have talked, Europe has among its strategic objectives the creation of a single European data market that boosts artificial intelligence. Since Digidato, we deployed this objective in Spain, supporting deployment of data space and the achievement of strategic digital sovereignty. The European Commission plans to create 14 sectorial data space across different industrial sectors. We can talk about health, manufacturing, agriculture, finance, mobility, Green Deal, energy, public administration, skills, research, tourism, cultural heritage, media, and language. But what's exactly a data space? A data space is this kind of decentralized infrastructure for trustworthy data sharing and exchange in data ecosystem based on commonly agreed principles. The first of the data space is the European Health Data Space. It's the first of the European data space with its own regulation. I believe that we have talked previously about the European Health Data Space by balancing individual empowerment with collective benefits. We are creating a healthcare ecosystem that's more connected, more efficient, and more innovative than even before. The key objectives: empower individuals to control their health data, facilitate secure data exchange, foster the single market for electronic health record system, enable data reuse for research, innovation, and policy making. We talk about primary use and secondary use. Primary use, access and share health data with professionals, and the secondary use is this kind of use that we talk about research and innovation. Later, we can see how the Spanish National Health Data Space work together with the European Health Data Space. But now let's go to talk about how deploy this concept of data space in Spain. These data space are the vehicle chosen in Spain to enhance the data economy, promote innovation, and advance in the generation of shared value. What are the objectives that we are trying to achieve? These objectives are improving the performance of strategic productive sectors, promoting a fair and sustainable data economy, guarantee of strategic digital autonomy, the promotion of the generation of quality data, and enhancement of public data. Maximize the value of public data, promoting its accessibility and use. Next week, on November 21, we are going to present the plan to boost sectorial data space. This plan outlines how we are going to invest the 500 million allocated in the next generation European funds, specifically from components 12 and 14 in our recovery and transformation and resilience plans. The initiative aims to impact various stakeholders in the data ecosystems, including data space promoters, business, and technology industry. A key feature of this plan is the establishment of a common governance framework that encompasses government ministries, private sector entities, and regional governments. We believe that by leveraging the next generation European funds, Spain is positioning itself to play a significant role in the European Union's data-driven future, potentially leading to new economic opportunities and improve public service through better use of data resources. What are the activities that we have related to data space we have deployed now in Spain? We have development unique projects, singular projects led by a group of regions. That's what we call RETEC projects and municipalities. This is the project that we call EDINT that I'm going to talk later because I believe that is related with the scope of the conference. We have a nominative subsidy to support the activities of our hub, National Gaia X Hub. We support the development of basic security and sovereignty technology. We have launched competitive grants for the development of data space, in this case, demonstrator and use case. We have recently, this week, public competitive grants for the development of data space tools and service. We are thinking in creating a public sector data space, and we are developing the national health data space that is the one that I'm going to talk in the second part of my presentation. I'm thrilled to share with you the remarkable progress we have made in our initiative to develop data space through competitive grants. Here you have the numbers, but we are not talking only about the numbers. The diversity of projects, the balance of public and private involvement, and the wide geographic spread all point to a bright future for our data economy. We have selected 19 innovative projects with a total amount of aid of 83 millions, with a total investment, if we consider the private part or the part that the enterprise that are granted a port of 136 millions. If we talk about the project distribution, we have 63% of the selected projects that are presented by private entities with a 45% of total subsidy amount. And the projects are distributed across 30 regions, and you can see here the figures about the sectors. And it's remarkable that in the health sector, we have funded 21 initiatives with a grant awarded about 32 millions of euros. And to finish this block, I'm going to talk about the EDINT, that is this data space for intelligent urban infrastructures. EDINT is our ambitious initiative for data space for intelligent urban infrastructures. This project represents a significant leap forward in how we approach urban data management and utilization. EDIT has been designed with three primary objectives in mind: consolidate results from previous smart city plans, leverage the sectorial data space program, and create this infrastructure for collective data sharing. The key features are that we have a budget of 30 millions. EDINT was published 1 month ago. It's an initiative that is leadership with the Spanish Federation of Municipality and Province. We believe that it's focused on a strategic sector, sustainable mobility, commerce, tourism, and public-private data exchange to improve product, service, and decision-making. What is the impact that we try to achieve? We envision it serving as a test bed for AI developments, providing a rich real-world environment for testing and refining artificial intelligence applications. For local entities, EDINT will drive data-driven decision-making, enable more efficient and effective governance. In conclusion, EDINT represents our commitment to building smarter, more efficient, and more responsive urban environments. EDINT, as we have talked previously, is one of the initiatives that is present in this strategic plan to boost the development of data space in Spain. This plan that we are going to present the 21 of November. Now let's go to the second block of my presentation. We have talked about the data space as a place of value creation. We have talked about the European data space that we are constructing in a European level and how we deploy this concept of data space in Spain. And one of the projects that we are developing is the Spanish National Health Data Space. This ambitious project aspires to catalyze research and innovation in health through the reliable and ethical use of disruptive data processing technologies and artificial intelligence. All of this is carefully aligned with the framework of the Spanish digital health strategy. Key points to have in mind. We are creating a national infrastructure for research and innovation and design of public policies in the field of health. We are talking about secondary use. We are not talking about primary use. It's aligned with the digital health strategy. And in this case, we have 100 million that belongs to the 18 components to deploy the Spanish National Health Data Space. We are trying to offer differential value to participants, either through the application of cutting-edge technologies. We can talk about advanced artificial intelligence. We can talk about computing capacity, or through the quality and quantity of its data. In this kind of project, it's crucially to have the public trust. That's why we are going to implement strict safeguards for confidentiality, privacy, along with rigorous monitoring of ethical considerations. While the focus of the National Health Data Space is on secondary use, research, and innovation, it's important to note the potential synergy that we are going to have with primary use. The insights and advanced segments generated through this initiative will facilitate and enhance overall health performance. This is the project, and now we are going to talk about several characteristics around the project. The ENDS, that's the acronym for Spanish National Health Data Space, is built on a federated approach. This means that data is made available in a secure environment, especially tailored to the use case being studied. We are not talking a one-size-fits-all solution, but a flexible adaptive system designed to maximize the utility of our health data while rigorously protecting privacy and ensure data quality. Key characteristics that we can talk about the system. The available information source and resource must be incrementally federated to constitute a single catalog of data service. This catalog is going to be accessible via FHIR. We can talk about findable, accessible, interoperable, reutilizable principles. The data itself doesn't have to be stored in the ENDS prior to its materialization within a specific use case. Even in that case, in the development of a use case, it's possible to use federated learning technologies that avoid data transfer. The quality of data, its homogenization, standardization, the use of terminology service, and its metadata are key aspects to parsing. And here we can talk about the use of privacy technologies. This kind of privacy enhancing technologies is essential. The given the sensitivity of the information processed. The Technical Office for Standardization and Quality of Health Data, Comité Editorial, defines interoperability standards and norms, as well as pseudonymization and anonymization criteria to be applied by data custodians. Our approach to use case development and research within the national health data space is designed to be secure, ethical, transparent, and highly collaborative. Every use case is developed in its own secure processing environment. These environments are deployed in a hybrid cloud, providing access to the specific tools and data required for each particular study. The research process will be governed by the principle of open science. Application for the development of use case will be judged by the use case committee that we are going to talk later. And this is judged from an ethical principle and contribution to the common good. In this slide, we can see a diagram that illustrates how various stakeholders contribute to and interact with the national health data space. We can consider different sources of information. We can talk about the health system of our autonomous community, our regions. We can talk about the information that is custodian by the Ministry of Health independent organization. We can talk about research organization presence in central administration and regions. We can talk about the data service that are offered by the European Health Data Space, other information not exactly related with health information, but that are very useful when we try to look for insights for the information that is apported by different Spanish organizations. We can talk about non-health data offered by the sectorial data space that we have talked previously. We can talk about real-world information, open data, social networks, service offered from data altruism schemes, obtaining purchasing data from the private healthcare sector. These diverse data sources are integrated into the national health data space, making them accessible within a unified framework. Every use case is developed in a differentiated, secure treatment environment with access to the precise tools and data. This is the diagram of the national health data space, and it's very important to say again that every use case is developed in a secure process environment. Later, now I am going to talk about the federated data governance model for the Spanish national health system. First and foremost, this model is designed with a deep understanding of Spain's decentralized health system. At its heart, this model combines a centralized strategy with decentralized management. This dual approach allows us to maintain a coherent national vision while empowering each region to manage its data in a way that best suits its unique needs and capabilities. The core characteristics respect this decentralization, combines centralized strategy with decentralized management, promotes efficiency and coherence in health data management, preserves autonomy of its regions. At the heart of this scheme are the coordination that is done by the Health Data Office of the National Health System, the SNS, following the guidelines and criteria agreed upon within the Interterritorial Council of the Health National System. One of the key pieces when we talk about the national health data space, and that is that appear in the latest diagram that show the governance, is the use case committee for the Spanish national health data space. Beginning, I believe that it's important to say that a use case is defined as an instrument that describes how specific data from the shared environment is used, what actions are performed with them, and how they contribute to meeting certain analysis needs in the health field. Its goal of the use case committee is to achieve an agile and collegiate management of use case deployment in the Spanish national health data space. This committee plays a crucial role in streamlining the approval process for data use case while ensuring proper evaluation and oversight. What is his composition? Its composite is it's composed by the data management leader from autonomous communities from our regions. It's coordinated by the data office that we have talked previously, and Digidata belongs to this committee, non-voting representative, but we take part of this committee. The functions, as we have said previously, defines approval condition for use case, enable fast-track approval for routine case via this data office, and evaluate complex or new use case. The process, the data office will approve routine case, committee studies complex case. In this case, the proposal is to have a review by peers with 2 regions working in a use case, issues, and at the end they launch issues about the viability and suitability of a use case that is approved by the Digital Health Commission that have the last word about a use case that is going to be deployed in the national health data space. The use cases are going to be developed in 5 areas, and all of them are going to follow a common life cycle. We aim to promote a preventive, personalized, and precision medicine approach within the the national health system by utilizing data analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence. We strive to enhance patient care and system efficiency. What are the key priorities include what are these ambits? We are talking about personalized attention. We are talking about predictive medicine, diagnostic support, biomedical research, and healthcare planning. All of these cases are developed with the same life cycle. This life cycle has a first stage, that is the identification of the use case. Later, we talk about the feasibility, the viability of this use case. Later is the stage of design, later the implementation, and finally, we study the impact. When we talk about the feasibility of the use case, that is studied by the use case committee that we have talked previously, it's important to consider 4 aspects. We are talking about strategic acceptance, we are talking about technical feasibility, we are talking about functional feasibility, and we are talking about legal and ethical feasibility. In this slide, you can see all the aspects that the use case committee has in mind to study in every use case. No? The first of all is the strategic acceptance. When we examine the purpose of each use case, we are particularly interested in the secondary use of health data, ensuring it aligns with legally permitted use and has a genuine relevance or sanitary sense. It's crucial that this use case harmonize with the strategies and policies of our national health system. If we talk about technical feasibility, we are going to talk about the complexity of the use case, the data itself, the typology, the volumes, the source, the format. We talk about the different actors. We talk about tools and processes, the cost and resource, the sharing frequency, the treatments. We talk about the data models, executing model, the risks, the degree of technical maturity. When we talk about functional feasibility, we talk about the protocol or work plan. We are talking about the data itself, the methodology, the quality of the data, the limitations. And when we talk about legal and ethical feasibility, we are going to talk about to study if the use case fits with the definite purpose present in the European health data space and not fit with the prohibited use present in the European health data space. The potential impact relative to data protection, the secure measurements, personal data, sensitive data, and all the world of the medical device. This is the feasibility criteria of use case in the life cycle that we have talked, and when that this is studied by the use case committee, that is a key piece of the government framework that we have shown previously. And what are the two use cases that we have developed now in our Spanish National Health Data Space? The first of the two cases that we have now developed is the study of antibiotic consumption at national level. In this case, describe the use of antibiotics, quantity, type of drugs, use, indication of the prescriptions. The goal is detect trends and chance in consumption, optimizing the prescription, helping to reduce the generation of resistance linked to antibiotics. In this case, the region that has promoted the use case was Navarra, jointly with our agency for the medicaments. The data source are the PRAN, the National Plan for Antibiotic Resistance, and the information present in BFAP. And the results, in this case, we are talking about descriptive analytics around the data that are involved. The second use case that we have developed is the study of the compensations occurring in people diagnosed with COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. In this case, it's a descriptive analysis of this information, but we have constructed a predictive model, and we try to detect the factors that influence the compensation of people diagnosed with COPD to create a predictive model. In this case, the region that promotes this use case is Castilla and León, and with the support of the Spanish of the data office that we have talked previously. What are the data sources in this case? We are talking about the BDCAP, that is the primary care clinical database of the Spanish National Health System. We are talking about the RAE-FMBD, Specialist Care Registry. We are talking about the protected population database of the Spanish National Health System. And in this case, to do this predictive model, we introduce open data, meteorological data from our meteorological agency, and air quality data. With all these data sources, with all these data sets, we have created a predictive model that shows in this stage interesting conclusions. These are the two use cases that we have developed, but we have asked the regions to develop, to generate new use case, and we have more than 20 candidates to be developed in our national health data space, in the infrastructure that we are building. The INDS, our system, doesn't exist in isolation. It needs to interoperable seamlessly with various national and European data initiatives. We can talk about the initiative that we have talked in the first block, supported by the Next Generation Funds. We can talk about the AI mission program, and we can talk about the European health data space. To look forward, it's possible to think about research competitive grants to be developed on the ENDS infrastructure, providing data or from the information present there. We can consider the participation of startups with innovative AI proposals. This is related with the possibilities that appear in the European health data space in his 34 article that enable these companies to access this information. And here we can talk about perhaps GovTech Lab initiatives. In certain use case, the system may require supercomputing power. And here we can talk about the capacity of our Spanish red from high performance computing. And we need to consider the capabilities and experience in previous projects, and we can talk about impact data or healthy cloud. And at the end, we must address the elephant in the room. Now, what is the problem? The problem is the sustainability. It's crucial that we define a path for the project's longevity beyond the timeframe of next generation European funds. In conclusion, the Spanish National Health Data Space represents, or we believe that it represents, a transformative steps in our approach to health data. We are setting the stage for a robust, innovative, and enduring platform that will drive healthcare advance for years to come. And this is my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. And we have talked about, in a first block, about data space in Spain, how we are deploying this concept, what are the actions that we are trying to carry out. And in the second block, we have talked about the Spanish National Health Data Space and the opportunity that is for healthcare in Spain. Thank you very much for your attention, and I have here you have our contact information, and we are open to receive your opinion.